So not only does balance have to occur within each, separate section of your life or sector of your life, but it has to be between sectors, intersecular. Is that what that means? I don't know.
That means I'm moving. I made a few mistakes, but I'm improving. I'm human, but I've been making daily resolutions. I got to. You might do it different, but I'm not you.
Hey, Mark.
I'm self-made. I'm
Hey, Mark.
doing things that
Mark.
I was never taught.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hey Mark, a podcast where I, Mark, obviously get to, have open and authentic conversations about the trials and the tribulations that we go through, the struggles that we have to overcome, the things in our life that we don't really feel comfortable talking about, don't really get the opportunity to talk about, or just the conversations that don't come up, on a day-to-day basis. The reason I'm wanting to do this is because I want to let everybody know that's listening, and that means you, yes, you, that no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. I was gonna take a sip of coffee, but my coffee's fucking empty, so I guess no coffee, and I'm just gonna kind of get into it. So if you've seen the show before, if you've listened to the show before, if you are new here, no matter what, let me kind of give a little recap right now. This episode today is going to be another episode of What Would Mark Do? The opportunity for you to send in your clips, maybe brag about a little win that you've had in your life, maybe something that you're going through right now, maybe talk about a struggle that you're, trying to overcome. Maybe you're just kind of, maybe you're seeing a friend struggle and you want to, voice their struggle because maybe they aren't really aware of it yet or don't know how to speak about it. Regardless, you can send in your clips. I'll give my 2 cents. Without further ado, let's roll today's clip. I'll give you my 2 cents.
Hey Mark, I'm curious to know if you think balance is actually like a real obtainable thing, or if it's just an elusive concept that we're constantly told to work towards when most of us don't even know what it looks like. Or
balance is a funny thing because it's going to be tailored to each person. Balance is going to look differently in everybody's lives. And the reason why is because, the end goal, the happiness, the success, whatever it is that you're striving towards is going to be different for everybody else. Some people want to have, a more extravagant work life where they're the CEO and everyone's coming to them and you're solving everybody's problems and you're making the most amount of money. And some people are really, they fall in love with that idea. But obviously that's not for everybody else. Some people, want to have more of a home life. They don't really want to be working all the time. They don't feel as fulfilled from their job. And so for them, they're trying to escape from that and get back into more of a social life, a work life, whatever it is. So it's a constant balance. Finding balance is a constant, it's a constant action or behavior that you're going to have to take because it kind of is going to move all the time. And it's going to be different for everybody else, right? And so what looks balanced for me might not look balanced for you because we're doing different things and we're aiming for different things as well. So just to narrow it down into one topic, because I feel like, keeping it simple is a little bit easier for me to wrap my head around, and hopefully you can wrap your head around what I'm saying a little bit easier. So if you were to focus in on a specific area in life, say for work example, you're going to be in a constant, struggle or turmoil with the idea of maybe I need to work more, maybe I need to keep working, maybe I need to take some time off, maybe I need to work more efficiently, whatever it is. You're going to have all these confusing internal conversations going on in your head, and it comes down to what you're looking for. So if you are looking to, be that CEO where you're kind of putting out everybody else's fires and you're making the most amount of money, you have the most amount of responsibility, you're the guy that everyone can kind of come to solve problems, then obviously the balance is going to be tipped a little bit more in favor of work. You're going to have to understand the sacrifices that go into that. You're sacrificing your amount of balance for the amount of success that you're striving towards. Now, not only does that come at a cost of resting when you're at work, because you're not going to be taking your coffee breaks, lunch breaks, or paid vacations or medical leaves or whatever it is, because you're just going to be working all the time, gunning towards your goal. But when focusing on that one area of your life, work, you're going to lose balance in the other areas of your life, most likely. Not many people can kind of focus on everything all at once. And so what does that look like? when you are diving into your work, when you are spending, not the typical 40 hours, but you're spending maybe like 50, 60, 70 hours a week at work because you're just trying to get a step ahead and you're sacrificing that balance, well, then other areas in your life are going to be compromised as well, whether that be your health and wellness, whether that be your relationships, your love life, your home life. Maybe your house is getting messy. Maybe you're, forgetting to take out the trash or the recycling, whatever it is, right? You can see, and we all know, we can understand and grasp the concept that the more you focus in one area of your life, the less focus you'll have in the other areas. That's pretty much common sense. And so, maintaining that balance or finding that balance is going to be, subjective that way because, what I value in my life is going to be different than what someone else values in their lives. Maybe you focus a lot on, health and wellness, and you're spending a lot of time, taking care of yourself. You're spending more money on healthy foods. You're spending, more time working out or going to counseling or whatever health and wellness looks like for you. That's also going to come at a cost, right? You're not going to be able to work as much because you're spending more time on, anything to do with your health. Like I said, the same principle applies everywhere. The more you focus on one area of your life, the more you're going to lose balance in other areas of your life. And so, when am I going to need to start being more mindful about the balance that I have in my life? When is this going to become an issue? Because, obviously, no matter which area you're focusing on in your life, whether it be work life or home life, social life, love life, etc., whatever, all these different areas, it's going to be a constant struggle between balancing within that area and then also balancing all of those other areas. So understanding what your goals are and what success and happiness looks like to you, but also defining what rest looks like to you. If you are an athlete, you're training towards a goal, say, like you have all these professional athletes, they're working towards, the pinnacle of success for them, whether that's, the NBA championships, the Super Bowl in football, the green jacket, the Masters in golf, whatever it is, these athletes are going to be training and they're going to be training hard. And, to the outsider looking in, it's going to look like they don't have any balance whatsoever because they're always gunning towards it. They're pushing their muscles, their joints, every part of their body to the limit to train and prepare for what is to come next. And that does seem a little bit imbalanced, but what you're not seeing is the rest they're taking. Are these people just kind of kicking back and not doing anything when they take rest? Or are they tailoring their rest towards their goal? Is their rest, going for massages to loosen up their muscles and get them ready for the next day? Is their rest stretching or maybe foam rolling or going to some cupping therapy? Like rest is going to look different for everybody, but that doesn't mean that rest or stopping your work has to be exactly that. It doesn't have to be, a complete stoppage of the process. Your rest can actually be tailored to getting you closer to your goal as well. So that's kind of the other aspect of it, right? Like kind of redefining what rest is so we can kind of get a better idea of, what balance looks like. So not only does balance have to occur within each, separate section of your life or sector of your life, but it has to be between sectors, intersecular. Is that what that means? I don't know if that's even a word, but between the sectors, you have to have balance as well. And so why do we need balance? Like right off the bat, we'll kind of discuss why we need balance, because whether you're talking about work life, exercise, training for something physical, your relationships, any aspect of your life, why do we need balance? Balance is going to protect us from burning ourselves out, whether that's physically or mentally. It's gonna be the thing that helps you out from not getting injured if you're training for something physical. It's going to be what protects you from lashing out due to resentment to the people that you love and care about. So those are the reasons we need to achieve balance, basically, so that we don't burn out or injure ourselves, mentally or physically. And so how do we achieve that level of balance? Because it's something that we all struggle with. I don't think it's created through either working excessively or resting excessively. And I don't think it's created through, giving up when things get hard or even pushing through when things get hard. I think that balance is achieved through mindfulness. And what I mean by that is being mindful of, that tipping point between being balanced and imbalanced. So we'll go back to like an athlete's perspective. Everybody's body is going to need something different depending on your fitness level. But, what I mean by mindfulness is being mindful of the times that you need to take rest days. There's going to be so many times, whether you're working or whatever it is that you're talking about, where you're just pushing, and you have that internal conversation in your head where you're like, do I need to take a break right now, or can I push through this? And then you push through it. And then maybe sometimes you realize, oh yeah, that was just that little voice in my head. It was just being a little bitch, and I was able to push through it, and it wasn't any problem for me right now. But then there's other times of your life where you're going to be like, hey, do I need to rest right now? You're going to push through, and then that's where injury falls. That's where burnout falls. And maybe you just, take a little bit less care. Maybe you're a little bit distracted, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you've been injured, or you've burnt yourself out, whatever it is. And that's the area that we're trying to avoid, right? And so it's just being a little bit more mindful between when you actually need rest and when that voice in your head is just being a little bitch. And that is such a hard thing to actually differentiate between. That is something that I still struggle with, so I can't really give the best advice for that. But one thing that I do use, one tactic that I do use, is something that I've learned from Jocko Willink, if you listen to any of his, YouTube or podcasts. And that is, when you find yourself having that internal conversation, say I wake up and I have to go for a run or a workout that day, and I'm thinking, fuck man, I'm really beat up today. I'm really not feeling it. I might be injured. I'm really not sure if this is like my body just being a little bitch, or if I'm actually close to being injured. And usually my rule of thumb is I try and push one more, day or rep out of that. And then if it's really not feeling good the following day, then it's like, okay, yeah, you're not being a little bitch. You actually do need to rest a little bit. And, obviously I'm using some pretty colorful language when I say you're being a little bitch, but that's just the way that these internal conversations kind of play out in my head. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, am I being a little bitch, or am I, on the brink of injury? And that's a pretty realistic way to kind of have that conversation in my eyes, because sometimes you are just kind of shying away from uncomfortability, but sometimes your body or mind is trying to give you a signal saying, look, bro, you need to, kind of pump the brakes a little bit, not stop completely, but maybe slow down so that you can speed up in the future. And so that's kind of my idea of balance, my perspective of balance. I don't think that, to come back to the point that you made in this clip, I don't think that we're educated really properly on what balance looks like. It does kind of seem like an elusive construct. I think those are the words that you used. And so I think that balance is something that we all have to find in our own lives and for ourselves. Because like I said in the very beginning, what I see as a balanced lifestyle might not be balanced for you. I might want to work more than you. I might want to work out more than you. I might want to spend a little bit more time with my family or my loved ones than you. Everyone's going to have different values in their lives. And, there's really no right or wrong when it comes to that. And so dictating that for other people, I think is a little bit almost evil. I think that balance is something that, like I said, we all have to find for ourselves, because we all have different values and different things that do make us happy. That being said, there is the universal idea that, we do have to take care of every single aspect of our lives. I don't think there's a single human being on this planet that can neglect a huge area of our lives, like I was talking about earlier, when it comes to work life, social life, love life, health and wellness, like those types of things, especially like your home life, any of those aspects. I don't think that there's a single human that could find happiness or success without maintaining a balance between those 5, what I would call pillars that hold up the structure of life. So, like I said, balance is going to look different for everybody. But that being said as well, we all do have to achieve some sort of balance within our own lives. And it's going to be subjective, and it's going to take lots of time and experience to be able to actually be more mindful about when we need to rest or when we can push through. And, in terms of tips for that, those are kind of the tips I give on a constant basis anyways, right? You're gonna wanna journal about how you're feeling. You're gonna wanna journal about the solutions you've proposed for yourself, how they work, what didn't work, and how you can kind of revise them for the next time. But just being a little bit more mindful about, how your energy levels and your emotions and how your body's feeling especially, I think that increasing your mindfulness will increase your balance. So if you need to increase your mindfulness, the very first things I would start recommending are be a little bit more active in your life, journal a little bit more, read a little bit more, listen more, and speak less. And that's not just listen to, other people, but that's also listen to your body. A lot of the times we can find ourselves telling our bodies what to do, but we never actually listen to our bodies when they're communicating with us, because obviously our bodies don't speak English. They speak sensations. They speak in pain and pleasure. So that's pretty much it. Listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to the people around you, be more mindful, and I think that will help you out, taking a step towards a more balanced life. Again, this is something that I'm still working on. It's not something I've mastered yet, but I hope that this video or episode, brings you a new perspective, a new outlook on balance, and helps you achieve balance a little bit easier in your life. If you have any tips or tricks in terms of achieving balance, if you're watching the YouTube or Instagram version of this, comment them below for people to see. If you're listening to the podcast, please reach out to me. My email, my Facebook page, and my Instagram is all in the podcast description as well. So don't hesitate to reach out to me, speak to me about balance. Maybe your clip can be next. Maybe we can interview about it, whatever it is. But let's start this conversation within our communities. Thank you so much for the love and support. I hope you all have a great day, a great week, a great month, and a great year, a great life. I hope life's wicked, man. Life slaps. Thank you so much. Much love and peace out, baby.